Hello, it's a little bit later than usual on a Wednesday for me to start here, I know that. I've got the curtains drawn across the window because the sun is coming in really bright, which makes it a little bit tricky to see, but I'm hoping I'll get some of you guys to join me here and we're going to go over a few things today. Hey there, Chris. Chris, I have an order here for you. I'm really sorry. I was hoping to get down to the peninsula to deliver it for you, but I haven't got there yet, so sorry about that. But you've been on my mind. I hope everyone's well. We've been finishing up June, and June was such a busy month with the new catalogue out and lots and lots of activity. I did a Facebook launch, I did a Zoom launch, which was just last weekend, and that went great. If you missed out on our Zoom launch, if any of the girls from the Zoom are here today, please say that you thought it was great if you thought it was great. That would be awesome. So yeah, lots and lots of cool things happening. This month we have something new coming up as well, so I'll go over that with you in just a second. In a moment I'm going to turn the camera around. I'm just going to do a couple of really simple things with you today and tell you some of the stuff that's the exciting things that are coming up this month. So let's get this camera turned around and see how we go. Okay. All right. I know it's a little bit. Let me just probably all seasick while I get that sorted. Okay. Can people see that all right? I know it's a little tricky because of that sunshine, but there we go. So long as I keep everything right here in the middle, you should be able to see, and I hope you can hear me okay as well. So I thought I'd just do a couple of things. Last night I posted this really simple couple of cards, and I wanted to, my point was that this is the one I stamped initially, just simple stamping on a white background with the Blossoms in Bloom set, which is this beautiful big stamp. So that's just one stamp. So that's actually one stamp, not 5 different flowers. And then I did this one. Now, I hope you can see the difference. Let me just pull them a little bit closer up to the camera. Good morning, Mary. How are you going? So this one was the first one, the one here with the yellow flowers, and then this one you should be able to see I've put some sponging in the middle here, and it has totally lifted the way these flowers look. So I wanted to quickly show you how I did that. Super easy. If you're looking for really quick stamping, this is a great way to add a little bit more depth to your projects without actually having to go to layers or other bits and pieces. So as I said, I'm using this stamp here from the Blossoms in Bloom set, and I've already got it here on the block, and I'm using block F. It's such a big stamp that I use my biggest block for this one, so block F. But if you have a Stamparatus, it goes really nicely on your Stamparatus to save you having to buy a big block. So so that can be a great way to go. So I've got just a piece of Whisper White thick cardstock. I'm just going to fold this in half. Edge to make it sit nice and flat, and then I'm going to I'm deciding whether to stick with the colour that I originally used or whether to change up the colours, but I think I will just go with the existing colours. I'm using Bumblebee, which is actually, let's use a brighter yellow. So this one sort of was kind of orangey yellow really, but when you started adding the pink and the darker yellow together, it went quite orange. So let's see what happens if I pick a lighter yellow. So I'm thinking maybe Daffodil Delight, and I'm going to go with that one and see how it comes together. The pink is the new Magenta Madness. So these 3 colours here on this card are actually all 3 new in colours. So I've got the Just Jade, the Bumblebee, and the Magenta Madness in the middle. Okay, so let me just try a lighter yellow and see how that's going to look, just to give us a different effect. So I'm using that. Now when I'm using photopolymer stamps, I usually like to add a piercing mat underneath. like this, because it will give me a better surface for stamping. When you're using rubber stamps, you don't need this as much because you have the foam between the image and the block. But with the photopolymer stamps, there is no foam, so it really helps to have something like a piercing mat underneath. My understanding is these piercing mats are not in the catalogue because they were actually going to discontinue them until we all jumped up and down and said, no, we need those. So they have actually made them still available, but you won't find them in the catalogue if you're looking. So if you need to order one, you can just put in the word mat when you're doing a search on your order, or you can tell me that you want to order one, and that will obviously get you one of these because they are still around. So what I'm going to do before I stamp this is I'm going to use my Magenta Madness stamp, and I've got here just a sponge dauber. Daubers work better for this than actual sponges, and what you want to do is you want to go into your ink pad with the dauber, and then I'm just going to add some ink with my dauber in the center of each of the flowers. How easy is this to do, right? Quick, but it makes such a difference to the card. And just sort of making sure, have a little look, and you can see where the ink is on the stamps. So I'm actually going to, which way do I want this to go? I'm going to have it going like this, and it just fits beautifully on a card, this size stamp. And you don't even need any layers or anything. I mean, you could, if you wanted to, put maybe a label with a sentiment on it or something like that. Look at that. Isn't that nice? So you can see the yellow here. It's a little bit brighter than my original one here. And against that lighter yellow, instead of the orange that I got when I added the magenta to the bumblebee colour, this time it looks more red. So that's really interesting that it's taken on more of a red tone. Then I've actually got some of these little flower centers from the same set, so that's these ones here, and I'm just going to use my magenta, and I'm going to go into the middle of each flower. Just a bit of quick and simple stamping for you today, just like that. And of course we'll bring the whole thing alive with some leaves. So I'm using my Just Jade. I've got this leaf here from the same set, so we've got these couple of leaves here. I'm using those ones. So I'm going to ink this up. And sometimes it's nice to, without re-inking, use the two stamps so it gives us two different tones of green, even though we're using the same stamp. So just stamp it twice without re-inking, and that will give you that nice look. Let me see, I may not need any more of that one. Then I'm going to use the, whoops, where's the smaller. I'm doing the same with this one. I'm doing one stamp strong and then a second one to get a lighter tone. Or you can stamp it off on your paper underneath here to also give you a lighter tone of colour. There we go, just like that. And I've used the green to, I've got this Thinking of You, which you could use. There's some really good sayings in this set actually, so it's a good happy birthday. Maybe this time I might use the thank you, just for something different. So I'm going to take that out and use the thank you here. I like using thank you cards. I use a lot of them actually in my business. There's also a hello, which is good because you can use that for any occasion. And I'm just going to pop that there. And that's it. That's your card done. How quick and easy is that? So if you're looking for quick and easy cards, sometimes just stamping straight onto your card base works really, really well. We've got lots of stamps that work well for this. But if you add a bit of sponging, so you start with a lighter colour and then sponge over with a darker colour, like I've done in these flower centres, it gives you a really great effect. So now I have 3 beautiful cards, and they're very similar, but you can see this yellow one here is slightly lighter and brighter, and this centre went more red, this is more orange. But doesn't that look good? And so that was where I started, just with the stamps by themselves, but I really much prefer this bit of sponging. So that's a quick and easy way for you to step up your projects without a lot of extra effort. I think they look great. Let me pop them to one side and pop my inks away. I'm going to do one more card with you today. I usually announce these Facebook Lives in advance. I didn't today because I wasn't sure what time I'd be able to get on here. Move these out of the way. And that too. This month, this week actually, I'm doing an online class. If you haven't done one of my online classes before, you don't have to be available at a specific time. It's very simple how it works. I make it available that you can just purchase the tutorial. So I record a tutorial for the projects, and that is available by private YouTube link. So you need to have done the class for me to send you the link, or you need to have enrolled. And it's $20 Australian to be part of a class like that. If you're in the US and you wanted to do it, it would actually cost you a lot less than $20, because Australian $20 is not worth anything close to that in the US. Right now I'm going to guess it's probably about $13 or something like that, but here in Australia it's $20 if you just want to do the class and get the tips and tricks that I share in the video. If you actually want to make the projects with me, then I will send you the supplies. So basically everything you need to do the cards. The only thing you would need additional to that is obviously adhesive. I've got a list of inks that are good, and something I need to add to the class that I'm doing this week is you either need to have an aqua painter or one of our new water painters, or just a paintbrush. A paintbrush would be fine. Ideally, let me find you one. Ideally with kind of like a broader, not a thin little brush, but like a bit of a broader brush like this one. Okay, so I'm using a water brush, one of our new water painters, because we've got one of these brushes in the new water painters. But if you don't have that, just a normal brush like this would be great. Or you can even use the existing, the old aqua painters. These have been retired, and we've got these new water painters in replacing them now. So if you have one of those, that'd be great. But for this class, I'm going to be using... oh, sorry, I finished saying what I was saying. If you're in Australia and you would like me to send you the class supplies, all you need to do is place an order. Now, in the future I may change this, but right now, because of the whole COVID situation, and some people, I know it's difficult at the moment to find that extra money, so an order of any size will qualify you, and you just have to use the class code, which I've published on the post about this class. If anyone needs me, what I might do is post that code again in the comments, so everybody knows once again that code works to register for this class. Okay, and then I'll be sending you all the pieces. So all you need is a sentiment that you can add, or a couple of sentiments that you can add to the projects that we're making. I'm going to be using this stamp set. Let me just take these off. The Beautiful World stamp set and the A World of Good suite of products. So I'm using some of the dies, and I'm using some of the papers, which I'll show you in just a second. I'm also going to use this one, the Tasteful Touches set, and some of the papers that go with that. Now you don't need to have these things to do the class, because all you have to worry about is I'm sending you all the bits. When it comes to stamping, if you don't have these, you can stamp with whatever sentiments you might already have. Okay, so that's how they work. It works really well that way. But people have been telling me that they're loving the classes, and it's been a whole new experience for me as I've started to go down this path. I did do classes in the past, but I think now, with the situation as it is, people are understanding that this is actually a really great way to connect and do classes. Now, last month, I also did a Zoom launch, and the people who did the Zoom launch absolutely loved it, have told me that it was great, and have asked me when will I do another one. If people really want to do that again, and there's enough interest, not only will I do the tutorial for this class, but in a couple of weeks' time, I'll do another Zoom class as well that people can come to if they want to. Obviously, if I've only got one or two people, it might not be worth doing, but yeah, if I've got a few interested in doing that together with me, then we'll make them together. Okay, so So there'll be the video that you can watch and just stop and start it as you will, or you can do it together with me if we have enough interest. Okay, so that's how I'm planning it's going to work. Let me show you the papers that are in this class, and then I'm going to make a quick project with you, a masculine card, to show you, to give you a couple of tips today on the sort of things I look for when I'm making masculine cards. So this is the World of Good paper. It is absolutely stunning. I hope you can see it okay. It's got these beautiful brass accents. Absolutely gorgeous. Good morning, Kate and Karen. Hi. Hello, Tina. How are you going? Hello, Carol. Nice to see you there. I'm just going through. Hello, Gail. Hi, Wendy. Wendy, I know you're already registered. That's awesome. And Judy too. Hi, Fiona. How are you in New Zealand today? Hey there, everyone. So yeah, these papers, whoops, that's some champagne foil. It's a whole other thing. These papers are absolutely beautiful. They've got, even though it's not, I think these lend themselves beautifully to masculine cards. That's a no-brainer to me. And as soon as I saw them, I mean, you've got, this is this new cinnamon cider color, and there's maps and compasses and world images and all kinds of stuff on them. But they've thrown a couple of brighter colours in here too, which is kind of nice. So this is the bumblebee. That colour is in there. And look at the foiling on this. Isn't that just beautiful? I just love it. Absolutely beautiful. So then there's this beautiful thing with all the longitude and latitudes on it. And more compasses. I love all these. This is also a new foil that they've got available. This is brass foil, so it's not gold, it's not copper, it's somewhere in between, like a real bronzy look. And that goes beautifully with these papers. And that's the colour that's going through them. So they are a specialty paper because they've got this lovely foil detail. And I will be using those in the class. And then this is the other one that I'm going to use in the class. This is from the In Good Taste suite, which is the one that Tasteful Touches stamp set comes from. And this one is fantastic. Lots and lots of texture. So here's my tip for you. This is one of the things that I look for when I'm trying to put together male cards. A lot of people tell me that masculine cards are difficult, or that they struggle to come up with masculine cards. I think one of the reasons is because so many people, we're all flower obsessed, and you don't normally put flowers on a male card. But what I do find works consistently well on every male card is texture. Okay, so texture is something I look to add whenever I'm making a masculine card, and this paper does that for you because you've got all these beautiful textures. There's stone like this one. There's wood grains. Some obviously don't lend themselves, like this is more of a fabric, so possibly not that one as much for a guy. But you can see all these like lovely stone and hessian, and there's paint. This looks like tiles, and you can see these are just beautiful. Now this is a double pack, not just a 12 pack piece of paper, pack of paper like we normally get. It's actually got double the number of sheets, so 24 sheets in this one, and lots of textures to work with. So super useful if you're looking for something to help you make great mail cards. Let's not, I think maybe this pink is not probably something I'd be using normally on a mail card, but the reverse side I would. More tiles. That's kind of that's an interesting fabric. I would definitely use that on a mail card. In fact, one of the cards we're making in the class has made use of that paper. And you can see as you go through, lots and lots of wood grain. My dad's a builder, so wood grain is something I nearly always try and add to his cards when I make cards for him. Because knowing my dad, he probably is analysing what kind of wood it is, but anyway. So those are fantastic, and I've already used quite a few sheets out of that pack. That's not even remotely a full pack, but you will see when we're doing the class that some of those wood grain papers will show up in the cards. And because there's so many different wood grains in here, not everyone might get the same wood grain. There'll be different ones depending on which pack you get. So there we are. So let's pull a couple of things out. I'm going to show you something slightly different. This is also from this World of Good set, and these are the Memories and More cards. I'm going to actually make a card with those today. They are fantastic, not just for memory keeping, but for putting cards together. So on page 24 in your new catalogue, so this is the catalogue that came out last month in June. I know it's the 1st of July, but this one is going to run for, normally I'd say a full year, but this one's actually running for 11 months because next year our new catalogue will come out a month earlier. So, so that's a bit of a change in the catalogue program. But you will see here, we have the World of Good Memories and More card pack. Now my pack is not complete. They've actually used a few of their cards here. They've done different things with them because you can punch them, you can use them in different ways. And like I said, I try, when I'm doing a masculine card, texture is one of my top tips for you. If you can add texture to your card, that's fantastic. Now these papers and some of these cards will do that for you, but you can add additional texture if you like by possibly adding an embossing folder that may do a really great job for you, and we've got a couple. The In Good Taste pack, so let's just find that one as well. I think that's 122 in your catalogue. The In Good Taste pack includes the Tasteful Textile embossing folder, and it does kind of like a rough, almost like a Hessian impression into your paper, and that's absolutely beautiful. So that one's really cool. The other one is in the set we just looked at a moment ago, the World of Good one, and that one is called Old World Paper. Let me just find it. Here we go. I think it's Old World Paper. Let's have a look here. Yeah, Old World Paper 3D embossing folder, and see if you can see here. If you can see that, you'll see it here on these samples in the catalogue. That's what they've used there. Okay, it's absolutely beautiful. So this is the folders. So here's the Old World Paper one, which sort of gives you like a crinkled paper look, which is great for adding texture. And then this one is the I just said it a moment ago, and now I can't remember it again. But this is the one that gives us the textile. Like I said, it looks almost like a Hessian, but it's a really rough fabric kind of a look, like sackcloth, that kind of thing. So, so there you go. So those are great to add to your projects. So in the Memories and More pack, we've got this, like I said, this is not a full pack because I've already used some of it, but we've got 3" by 4" cards, and yes, I am saying inches because that's how they come, because they fit into the Memories and More page protectors, which are those measurements. And then we've got 6 by 4 sheets. So what I've been doing, 6 by 4 is slightly larger than our card bases, so I've been cutting these down. There's also some sticker sheets in here. Can you see these? These are beautiful. In fact, I might use one of the sticker sheets, one of these words on one of my cards today. I think that might be nice. Let's see. There's so many nice ones. They're fantastic. I really do like them. So the 6 by 4s, and like I said, as usual, I'm making this up as I go. Now the foiled pieces that are in this set are one-sided, but the ones that are not foil, like this one, have got both sides. So you can see there's maps, enjoy the journey. This is more for journaling in a project album rather than for a card, but you can use the reverse side perhaps. So I think the world of you, that's rather nice, isn't it, for a guy? And then there's some really nice scripty scrolly stuff here, and the colour here is Mossy Meadow. That's the green that they're using in this. The colours are Early Espresso, Mossy Meadow. This is Cinnamon Cider. Don't they look nice together? And I think white is the base colour. It is. Although if I was making cards and using some of the darker ones, I think it looks nice with vanilla. Let's see some maps. The world is yours. So some for journaling. This one is nice. Work, play, travel, repeat. I wish we could do that right now, hey? And life is an adventure again. So I could use one of these cards if I wanted with the words on it and actually make that the main feature of my card. Or I've got my smaller cards here and I can add those. You know, what a wonderful world, reach for the stars. There's lots and lots of different ones. So I'm sort of deciding while we're going through here what I would like to use. It's never too late in life to have an adventure. How cool is that? So I'm deciding, do I actually want to use... Now this one here, you make the world a better place. That actually is one of the stamps in the stamp set. So let me just grab that. So it's this one. You make the world a better place. See, you can actually use that, or you could use it. Oh, I am tempted to do that, you know. That looks really nice. So I'm sort of deciding as I go. Yeah, we might do a card with absolutely zero stamping on it at all. We don't even have to have stamping. Make the world a better place. Do I want... See, this looks rather nice, doesn't it? And this is also the brass. These are the brass ones. So let's cut this down. So I'm going to bring my trimmer in. If you don't have a good trimmer, this is a great trimmer. I'm really, really happy with it. They dropped the price of it in the last catalogue, and I really love it. So I'm doing my measurements for my Australian A4, which means the piece that's going to go on the front is going to be 10 centimetres wide and 14.3 long. Okay, that's how I'm measuring it, so it's going to fit on my front of my cardstock. And I've got a piece of vanilla cardstock here, or actually, because the writing is white, vanilla's really not going to work. So I'll save that for the next card. I'll just, if ever you're wondering how to measure the sheets of A4, 14.8 approximately centimetres is exactly halfway, and that's a great card base size. And then I've got Whisper White, and I'm going to pop that in here. And we'll do a white one for this one. The other thing, of course, is that when you're adding these, you can add some really cool brass features without having to stamp, like I said before. And I'm thinking I've got too many card ideas in my head. There's the problem. Alright, so this one I've already cut it down. If I wanted it to be a little smaller, I could even go and put it on a base underneath. So then I'd take ½ centimetre off here and ½ centimetre off here if I was going to have that sitting inside a different colour. Perhaps an early espresso piece around the outside would look really nice. That would be good. But anyway, I'm going to use my Seal Plus. For those of you who haven't seen me use this before, this is a lot like our old Fast Fuse, and I'm actually using it quite a bit, and it's really nice to use. It runs really, really smoothly. If ever it doesn't run as soon as you do it, all you do is you advance it with your finger so you can feel the stick, and then you run it again. Okay, stick. But it sticks really, really well, so it's a really cool adhesive. Right. And I just put that other piece down. Here it is here. You make the world a better place. I'm actually just going to pop that down. I mean, these make the simplest, easiest cards. If you want a really simple, easy way to make mail cards quickly, get yourself this pack. The pack of Memories and More cards is not expensive, and it gives you heaps of options. So I'm going to use a rather like these. stickers. Let's see if there's anything else here I'd like to use. I think maybe just adding that little bit of metallic there, that brightness really lifts the whole thing. But I might add another sticker here. And you could even add some like gilded gems or something like that if you want to. I mean, that's a super quick card. Let's go with one more. And this time I'm not going to have... I rather like the blue. Let's see. The blue or the green. This is nice too, isn't it nice with the... that's tempting. Alright, I'm going to use some early espresso as my underpiece. 10 centimeters wide again to fit on my card base, and 14.3 long. I'm going to do I've been talking about it for a while, but I really am going to do a video talking about measurements, because I know, see how this is bigger, so I need to cut this down too. The only thing is, for this, it is a little longer, but not a lot, than what I want. So I'm going to take off 1/2 centimeter here, so that I'm still getting all of my bits over here on. And then I want this to be 14.8. It's actually perfect. So I'll take 1/2 centimeter off and it's perfect. Okay. Then the width, I want that to be, actually I don't. I want that to fit inside my card base. So I'm going to take off a little more. And I'm actually going to take a little bit more. I'm going to go 13.8 here. And I took some off that end already, so I'm going to take some off the other side now. Oh, I'm sorry, Alaska. I just lost a bit of Alaska. Anyway, so this now should fit perfectly in here, and it does. I don't want Alaska to go missing, because I went there a couple of years ago and it was beautiful. Such a gorgeous place. So if you're someone who struggles with masculine cards, yeah, definitely get this bundle. It is super cool. I'm deciding which one to use. Where shall we go? Find joy in the journey. That's nice. Dream seems appropriate for the moment, doesn't it? Now, these have stick on the back, obviously, because they're stickers, but if you want to lift them up, of course you can. I'm going to add some dimensionals behind the back for this one, because I'd really like that to stick up. The other thing you can do is, you can, if you have an embossing buddy that we used to have, that we used to sell, you can run that over the back to get rid of any stick. Oh, have to actually pull the backs off for them to stick. Good job, Linda. I mean, quick, easy, done. Let's, and this time I've got the white there, so I need to have a white base because I've got white on my card. So who's used the Memories and More cards to make cards before? Or who hasn't? Aren't they cool? They make life easy because the color choice and a lot of the design work is already done for you, and all you've got to do really is pop them together. So there we go. We've got a couple of cards now, just really simple ones. And here's one last card. I'm thinking this time I might go with a crumb cake base. Now this is not a colour that's in there, but it works really well with it. So for something a little different. And once again, I'm going to cut this down. So it is 14.3. So this is to fit inside. So 14.3 by 10. Or if you wanted to have it with a frame around it, then you would make it half a centimetre smaller on each side. And in fact, no, look, I'm just going to leave it like that. And here we are. I really do like this one. I like this kind of like a really interesting matte design, really interesting background. And I'm looking at my pieces here to see what looks good. Now this is interesting. This one's got a little world globe with a base. You can have the globe by itself, or you can have it with a base. And I'm thinking this time I might use an early espresso piece here. I'm just looking to see. So this is what I was talking about before. This is sticky on the back. If you use an embossing buddy on the back, that gets rid of most of the stick, which then makes your dimensionals work better. Okay, just like that. Oh, once again, take the back off, Linda. I've got some little compasses here. I'm going to add those to this piece. And I'm just thinking, is there anything else I would like to add? I like this word, isn't it nice? Find joy in the journey. That's really nice. So I could use one of these little worlds with the globe. That would be kind of cute. And pop it here. Or I could use one of these little compass thingies. Yeah, I think I will. I'm going to use that. And I'm going to call that another card. So how quick and easy are these to make guy cards for you? Take all the guesswork out of it. They look fantastic. And any guy would love to have them. And we just made 3 in record time. So definitely think about those if you haven't already. They're pretty cool. Something else I haven't told you about yet, which is a bit exciting, is that our bonus days promotion started today. So bonus days is something, they did it last year as well, and it was very, very popular. In fact, I think they might have done it the past 2 years from memory. So for every $90 order you place, you get a $9 voucher. So if you had a $180 order, you would get 2, and then you earn the vouchers in July this month, and then you can spend them in August when the new catalogue comes out, which is pretty cool. So whatever you're spending now will go towards your purchases as a discount next month. So that is kind of cool. So definitely take advantage of that. If you've got an order of $90 or more, that's definitely something that you want to be part of. And if you are wanting to be part of the masculine card class that I'm doing this week, I'm actually closing that off on Friday, and all the materials, all the supplies will be in the mail by Monday. I'm thinking that it's going to be a great way of getting some people who've told me. I had a lot of people comment on my post last week saying that they find mail cards difficult. So if that's you, then this is a class that I can give you some great ideas and tips. So the tip I'm giving you today in this video is to make sure you add some texture. We've added texture just by, you know, the types of backgrounds and things, but I really like to add texture in form of embossing folders and so forth, and you will see these used in the class. But I think it's going to be a great little class, and if anyone would really like me to Zoom that for the people, if we have enough people wanting to do a Zoom, then I think that would be awesome as well. So just let me know and I will schedule that in and we can make them together. Have a fantastic day, guys. I hope everything is going well for you. Welcome to July. Let's hope that July in this silly world of ours is a better month for everyone, hey? And I hope everyone is staying safe wherever you are. Have a great day. Bye.